name's Alexis Fishman. I'm an actor and a singer, and I was lucky enough to perform my one-woman show, Club Galveston, at the Youngstown JCC last year. It's clear that the work that the Federation does is so important and so meaningful, and never as much as right now, where they have made sure to redeploy all resources to take care of the vulnerable, regardless of religion or affiliation, and make sure that everyone is healthy and secure in these terrible times. I'm going to sing a song for you, and it just reminds you to keep the faith and the hope, and I hope to see you all in person soon. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, but the world goes round, and sometimes you lose every nickel you had, but the world goes round. Sometimes your dreams get broken in pieces, but that doesn't alter a thing. Take it from me, there's still gonna be a summer, a winter, a fall, and a spring. And sometimes your friends start treating you bad, but the world goes round. And sometimes your heart breaks with a deafening sound. Somebody loses and somebody wins, and one day it's kicks, then it's kicks in the shins, but the planet spins and the world goes round and round. The world goes round. Sometimes your dreams get broken in pieces, but that doesn't matter at all. Take it from me, there's still gonna be a summer, a winter, a spring, and a fall. And sometimes your friend starts treating you bad, but the world goes round. And sometimes your heart breaks with a deafening sound. You know somebody loses and somebody wins, and one day it's kicks, and then it's kicks in the shins, but the planet spins and the world goes around and round and round and around and round. The world goes around and round and round and round. Be well, everybody. Take care.
Wow, Alexis, that was great. It was such a joy when you performed live in our community in front of a packed audience. And while sadly you are now on the other side of the world in Australia, we are thrilled that you have joined us this evening. Welcome, everyone, to a night of laughter, love, and hope. A special evening of music, comedy, and education, sponsored by your Youngstown Area Jewish Federation. I'm Rick Marlin, president of the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation, and I am so happy that you have all tuned in. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that the images you just saw of our programs and activities are worth tens of thousands. It's truly amazing how much our small and dedicated community can accomplish. We've heard so much in the past 9 weeks about how these are extremely difficult times. Our lives have changed dramatically. We're staying home, socially distancing, not seeing loved ones. Many of us are experiencing feelings of stress, fear, loneliness, and nervousness. And although portions of our economy are slowly opening, it will be a long time before we get back to some sense of normalcy. The uncertainty is great. But through all this, the agencies of the Federation have jumped into action to meet the many needs of our community. And tonight, we want you to see firsthand what has been happening and how we are positively impacting our community and the people throughout the Mahoning Valley. I am so proud of the work of our Jewish community. But most of all, for the rest of the hour, we want you to enjoy yourselves. Sit back, relax. We have a number of exciting things to share, including a few special guests who will entertain you, make you laugh, and inspire. So with that, I will turn things over to our very competent MCs for this evening, Lisa Long of Federation and renowned comedian Joel Chasnoff. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Thanks, Rick. We are so excited to be here tonight. Hopefully you'll see something tonight that inspires you to become a donor. When you do, please text FEDGIVE, FEDGIVE, to 44321, and it'll lead you through all the instructions, or go to our website, jewishyoungstown.org/relief. But you're not just stuck with me tonight. I'm going to bring on a familiar face that so many of you fell in love with a few years ago when he came to Youngstown, Joel Chasnoff. He's one of America's premier Jewish comedians, and he was here in Youngstown in 2017. I always tell my kids, Joel, that there's no such thing as 6 degrees of separation, especially in Youngstown. And you and I have discovered that because we actually grew up about 15 minutes away from each other on the North Shore of Chicago. So now you have 2 North Shore kids who are in love with Youngstown coming to you live. And we are so excited to have someone who has performed in 9 countries, on stage and screen, more than 1,000 Jewish events. He's a former IDF combat soldier and an author. And joining us from the middle of the night in Israel. Joel, what time is it there?
Well, it's just after 2 a.m., but if you've ever questioned how much I love Youngstown, Ohio, this should be the proof. I'm willing to do it, but I'm also happy to do it. I had such a great time when I was there just, almost 3 years ago, but it seems like such a different world, doesn't it, Lisa?
It certainly does. And that's why we're here tonight, to have you bring some laughter and some levity to this situation, to thank all the people who have stepped forward to make our community even more special than it already is, and to really share from the comfort of everyone's home and the safety of everyone's home the amazing things that the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation are able to do because of people who have supported us. So, Joel, I hear that you have something special in store for us.
I do. I've been thinking a lot about humor since this whole world changed, since the outbreak began. And the first question I asked myself was, what Jewish jokes are there that might shed light on our situation? Are there any jokes that have something to say? Because I've always believed that the best Jewish jokes don't just make us laugh, but they have a little message, a little story about the way Jews live their lives. And 2 jokes immediately came to mind. The first one is a classic Jewish joke, which some of you may know, about the flood. The scientists of the world determined that a huge flood is going to wipe out the earth in 3 days. And so the heads of all the world's major religions come on TV and make their pitch. The Pope gets on television and he says, "My friends, the flood is coming in 3 days. That means we have 3 days to convert to Christianity and accept Jesus as our savior." And the chief imam, the head of Islam, comes on television and says, "Friends, the flood will be here in 3 days. That means we have 3 days to convert to Islam and accept Allah as our Lord." And the chief rabbi of Israel gets on television and says, "Friends, the flood will be here in 3 days. That means we have 3 days to learn how to live underwater." And what I love about that joke, that punchline, "learn to live underwater," is that it's a metaphor for how Jews have always thought about life. Even in the most dire of situations, we adapt, we persevere, we learn how to live underwater. And I think that's what we're doing right now, that I can speak to you from my kitchen in Ra'anana, Israel, outside of Tel Aviv, to friends in Youngstown, Ohio, over Zoom, a medium I hadn't even touched a month ago. This is what it means to learn how to live underwater. The second joke that comes to mind is the one about of course, the minister, the priest, and the rabbi. All the great Jewish jokes have those three characters. And these three are sitting around talking about what they want people to say at their funeral. And the priest says, "At my funeral, I want people to say that I was a kind and generous human being." And the minister says, "At my funeral, I want people to say that I was always there to listen." And the rabbi says, "At my funeral, I want people to say, 'Look, he's moving.'" And clearly the idea there is that even in the worst situation you could imagine, even at your own funeral, when you are in your casket yourself, we still believe there is hope. We still believe that there is life ahead of us. And I think that's the message we all need to take into tonight's event, is that the Federation is going to find a way to move forward. We are finding a way to move forward. We are moving. We are learning how to live underwater. So I personally am thrilled to be here, even if it is a little bit after 2:00 in the morning here in Israel. And I hope everyone has a great event. We have a lot of wonderful things in store. Back to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Joel. Is it strange to do a set when you can't hear all of us laughing at your jokes?
Comedy is completely different over Zoom. You know, when you're a musician, you can play an instrument for an hour and you don't know whether people liked it or not. In comedy, you always know how you're doing. That's what I love about it, except over Zoom, where you have no idea. But I'm watching the numbers. We are actually gaining participants, not losing them. So as long as that's happening, we're okay.
That's a good sign. Well, Joel, as you know from your time here, the Federation is here to serve anyone, regardless of religion, regardless of age, and especially now during this really unprecedented and incredibly important time. We are here to protect the most vulnerable people in our community. So tonight we're going to use this show to show what all of our Federation agencies are doing. So we're going to start off first with our Jewish Community Center, and then stay tuned after it. A lot of us have been glued to the television here in Ohio at 2:00 every day, and you might see a face that everybody thinks is a little familiar.
Hi, Mike Rawl here. For those who don't know me, I'm Executive Director of the Jewish Community Center of Youngstown. Through good and bad, our JCC has been an anchor of the North Side for over 65 years. As our community's needs have evolved, so has our mission. Guided by our Jewish values, we have embraced our changing community. With your support, we have grown to almost 6,000 individual members, grown our camp over 25% annually, expanded our Early Learning Center to 11 classrooms, added Logan Campus, launched the Schools of Dance and Music, and we are soon to launch the much anticipated Paul and Yetta Gluck School of Visual Arts and Studio. We operate after-school programs throughout the region, have provided almost 12,000 swim safety lessons to underserved people, and 300 weeks of camp to children who could otherwise not afford to attend. We provide Aging Well programming for older adults that ranges from JOA to Silver Sneakers to Delay the Disease. And then crisis hit. And like we've always done, we adapted and we innovated From the earliest days, before our facility closed to our members, we were always preparing to take care of the most vulnerable among us. We knew from day one that frontline workers at Heritage Manor, Levy Gardens, and Jewish Family Services would need our support. We knew they would need our staff, and we knew they needed us to respond safely and with ruach. As the governor began to order closures, we began to plan for the child care of our Federation agency workers. Even before we heard that there would be such a thing as a temporary pandemic child care license, we were in consultation with our lawyers and other early learning professionals to prepare for the continuation of care for our frontline staff. Within 2 hours of the license being announced, Early Learning Director Ben Katz submitted our application. Within 48 hours, it was granted, and within a matter of days, Early Learning Administrator Emily Young helped convert our star-rated program from a bustling school of 130 children to a heavily regulated pandemic child care that has succeeded in balancing isolation and rigid protocols with learning and warmth. When access to Heritage Manor became first restricted and then disallowed, we made plans to move mobile meals production to the JCC, and we worked with the JFS to access new and additional funding. Today, led by Operations Manager Rebecca Solden and Facilities Director Zach Durrell, we have a ragtag team of teachers, fitness staff, and lifeguards, cooking, prepping, and delivering over 3,500 meals to 700 individuals each week. 3,500 meals each week. When it was first announced that older adults and other high-risk individuals were advised to stay at home, we matched the expertise of Jewish Family Services with the capable staff at the JCC to manage the Federation hotline. Led by Program Director Gon Erez, our program team has run errands, picked up medication, shopped for groceries, and lent a listening ear to those who are isolated and unable to leave their homes. His team also organized an effort to create over 500 cloth masks for Federation employees and partnered with Red Cross to host a blood drive. Facing the realities of serving our membership with a suddenly closed facility, Health and Wellness Director Laura Weimer pivoted her team from managing fitness, aquatics, and membership to managing outreach calls. Her team is easing the burden of isolation, encouraging exercise, and signing people up for mobile meals. These calls have averaged 11 minutes in length, as we have come to understand the extent to which loneliness is affecting our older members. They have even begun providing virtual one-on-one exercise instruction to our older Jewish adults. Many of our programs have moved online, where we now offer live fitness classes, lunch and learns, music lessons, lectures, dance classes, preschool, and more. We are making a difference here at home, but our leadership is also making an impact across the JCC movement. We were the first JCC to open a pandemic childcare and are among only 13 operating today. According to a recent survey from the JCC Association, we are the only JCC to currently be operating such a broad scope of community response. Because of this, we have been providing consultation to many of our colleagues across North America. Our team feels very fortunate to be able to use the platform of the JCC to make a difference during the crisis. Thank you to our team at the JCC, and thank you to all the volunteers. Your support in the form of participation, time, and dollars makes all the difference in the world. Until we are able to be together again in person, please do your best to look out for the ones you love and stay safe. Thanks.
Hello, it's Ohio Lieutenant Governor John Husted. Governor DeWine and I really want to thank you for all the great work that the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation is doing to support your community. Understand, the coronavirus has impacted everyone's life, not just in Ohio, but our nation and really around the globe. And when you think about it, nobody in any community is not affected by this. But some people we know are hit harder than others. People who already were struggling at the margins have an even more difficult time when we hit not only a global pandemic, but the economic downturn that we're all experiencing right now. And I looked at the list, Meals on Wheels, child care services. I mean, you really are doing a great job at giving people a support system, supporting our healthcare workers, helping flatten the curve. I mean, this is the community spirit that when we say we're all in it together, well, you're going above and beyond what could be expected of any one individual. But collectively, we know that collaboration works best. And pulling together like you have as a federation to support each other and to support people across your community is truly commendable. So Governor DeWine and I want to thank you for the work that you're doing, and may you all be blessed in this life's journey and your travels. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you to our Lieutenant Governor. He's become quite a celebrity here in Ohio, Joel. And I mean, that work at the JCC, doesn't that look amazing?
I was just thinking as I watched that, if you were to ask people in America, name the one JCC in the US that has the broadest scope of operations right now, how many people outside of your town would have said, oh yeah, I think it's going to be the one in Youngstown, Ohio? They would have assumed New York, LA, Miami, but it's such a testament to you guys and the work that you're doing that you're able to operate and take care not only of the community, but your own employees as well, and keep them working and paid. It's a clear message about your values, and I really admire what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and we've, unfortunately, the need in this area is so large, but we've been able to pivot so quickly to meet it. Just this week, we delivered 3,653 meals, and those are being delivered by people who usually teach preschool or teach swim classes. So since their jobs weren't available right now during this, we were able to use them in this amazing new way and keep them employed. 48 kids in our daycare for essential workers and online classes. I'm going to brag a little bit. Here's some art that my daughter did in one of the online classes. We've had more than 6,000 people join our online classes, fitness, art, music, so many amazing offerings. It's just we haven't stopped doing anything. We're just doing it in a very, very different way. So if you want to help feed more people, take care of more kids, text Fed Give to 44321 or go to jewishyoungstown.org/relief. The impact on our kids and our schools and our teachers cannot be understated, Joel. We have 154 students in our day school here at Akiva, and this next segment is going to show our local university, YSU, some students and what they're doing during this time. And then a special greeting from someone else who visited our community like you did several years ago, and those representing us in DC.
Hi everybody, I'm Mitch Album. I want to say hi to everyone in the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation and the Youngstown Mahoning Valley Jewish community. I remember when I spoke down there not too long ago and was very warmly received, and I've always felt fondly about the area there and received a request to maybe send a couple words along for the celebration that you're doing, and I'm happy to do that in these difficult times. I salute all the efforts that are going on down there. I've read through some of the ones you're doing. I particularly like the Grand Friends ones between the kids and the senior citizens, because as human beings and as members of the Jewish community in particular, I think we have always looked out for our older citizens and have valued them. And in this world, sometimes being old can be akin to being useless and being discarded. And our thoughts and our buying habits when we get to certain ages aren't valued anymore. Well, now we've got a situation where it's a matter of lives being valued, and it's a matter of people rushing back to get to economic benefits, often at the potential cost of our most precious commodity, which is our senior citizens. And so all efforts that you there in the Youngstown area and that the Federation is making to try to make sure that senior citizens are protected and that senior citizens are also spoken to and contacted, and I love the idea of the kids sending letters to them, is critically important. It's not just catching coronavirus, it's also being left alone and the depression that comes from that. So I just want to lend my support to your evening. I want to salute the efforts that everybody in the area is making and tell you to stay strong. This is certainly a challenge, but challenges are what define us, and the Jewish people in particular have learned how adversity is what defines our legacy. Our history is strewn with it. So my best wishes to everyone there, and to stay safe, and look forward to seeing you in person. Look forward to seeing anyone in person at some point in the near future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kate Landry.
And I'm her brother Noah.
And we're both Dana School of Music students. As a recent graduate of the Nonprofit Leadership Program, I've had the opportunity to learn a lot about the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation and all of the work you do for the community. So I just want to say thank you for all the work you've done in the past, and especially for the work that you continue to do during this time.
We want to thank you for allowing us to share some music with you and hope you enjoy our performance of Something Good from The Sound of Music.
Hi, this is U.S. Senator Rob Portman. As usual, the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation is on top of it. Thanks for letting me participate tonight in your celebration of laughter, love, help, and hope. All things we need more of right now during this unprecedented coronavirus pandemic. But even more importantly to me, thanks for what you're doing every day. The Jewish Federation is now providing 3,500 meals a week in their Meals for Wheels program, a great program. My wife for a long time was a driver, and I just love the fact that you're doing it. Second, you're providing emergency daycare for our healthcare workers. That is so important right now. We need them on the front lines. They're working their hearts out for us, putting their own healthcare at risk for our healthcare, and making sacrifices. Your ability to provide them this emergency daycare is really important to them, and therefore to the entire community. And then finally, having a mental health, telehealth counseling program for those who are feeling anxiety, who are feeling a sense of isolation at a time when there are over 1 million Ohioans now who have applied for unemployment insurance, who are out of work, and millions of others who are social distancing at home. A lot are feeling the stress and some anxiety. So By providing that counseling service, you're helping the entire community. Thanks for all you're doing. Keep it up. We'll get through this, and we'll get through it stronger together. Godspeed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sherrod Brown. It's an honor to represent you in the United States Senate. Thanks for joining us for a moment. Special shout out to the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation, the Jewish Community Center in Youngstown, for the help that you're doing to support people across the Mahoning Valley. We've seen far too many hateful acts targeting the Jewish community, including the recent anti-Semitic displays at the State House protests. I just some days can't believe this is happening to our state and to our country. Too often this awful speech starts at the top, and I'm appreciative when people push back. And I so appreciate the Jewish community in this state, the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation, and JCCs all over, and the good work that you all do, especially in the Valley. I wanted to also do, though, a shout out for the Youngstown JCC for the amazing things you're doing. I mean, we know that Youngstown, Warren, your region of the state has right now, though, I believe the single highest unemployment rates in Ohio. Have taken a hit over several of the last 2 or 3 years, and now with the coronavirus. But the JCC just sees it as their duty to fight back and to help people. And thanks for operating the Emergency Pandemic Child Care Center to care for the children of essential healthcare workers. I think we forget too often, with children out of school, with parents who have to work, with libraries closed and rec centers. This isn't July where rec centers are open and feeding programs, that there is just such trauma brought to families when those parents have to work. There are nurses, there are grocery store workers, there are bus drivers. They're delivering packages. They are the janitors and the custodians. They do the laundry at hospitals, all of those kinds of things. And the JCC is taking care of some of their children. So thank you for that. You've expanded your Meals on Wheels program. We know the hit has gone beyond. The hit is everywhere, to people everywhere, and Meals on Wheels serves more than 3,500. You've expanded to serve more than 3,500 meals a week. Thank you for that. You've partnered with the Red Cross to hold a safe blood drive. That is always important in any community. Thank you to the JCC for that. And your check, as you so well do, you checked with people, just checking in on people. Some in your congregations, others no affiliation with the Jewish community at all, and you check in and make sure people are okay. So thank you. I just want to take the time to do a special shout out to the JCC and to the Jewish community generally for always, just damn near always fighting on the side of justice. Your work so matters to the social fabric of our state and the prosperity of our families. Thanks so much.
Thank you to our officials. It's just amazing to have so much support out there, Joel.
It's always good to see democracy thriving and actually operating in times like these. I do want to know where I can get a First Amendment pillow. That was the first thing that jumped to mind. Hey,
yes.
I always want to feel that free speech can actually support me, and now it literally on my rocking chair. I also want to say that people might be worried about the state of democracy in Israel. It's chaotic. I want to reassure you, Israel is as democratic as it's ever been. Many countries have one election every 4 years, but we are now doing one election every 4 months. I think that is the sign that democracy is thriving, when you can just elect a new prime minister every Tuesday. So things are absolutely fine.
And we, speaking of, you're in Israel, I'm in the middle of a cornfield here in Ohio. And so please, audience, forgive us for any technical glitches as we bring this to you live, because we're a global operation all of a sudden, and we're trying our best. So just bear with us.
I think it's going incredibly well for something live spanning 8,000 miles. So yes. I know people will give us some slack if those things happen.
Yes. I wanted to just bring some attention to what Mitch Albom said about the Grand Friends program. Right now, we have 50 little ones with new adopted grandparents in our nursing home and our assisted living, writing back and forth. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Yeah, I know some elderly personally in the U.S. who would benefit immensely from just having a little voice out there to communicate with. Mm-hmm. And early on, I think Michael mentioned that loneliness is one of the big factors and one of the big things affecting people that's often forgotten, but that basic human need is so essential as well.
Yeah, that need for connection. And that's definitely what we're doing at Heritage Manor and Levy Gardens right now, is giving enhanced one-on-one care to our residents and tenants there to keep them safe, to make sure that we're connecting them in this way over Zoom or FaceTime with their loved ones since they can't come and visit, and really giving some extra TLC to those folks. We have 18 people living at Levy Gardens right now and 58 at Heritage Manor, and
Wow.
so many heroes taking care of them right now. Our frontline medical workers who are there 24/7, who have an even harder job right now than they normally do. So we wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you. And if you want to say thank you to those frontline workers, please text FEDGIVE to 44321 or go to our website, jewishyoungstown.org/relief. And now we're going to turn it over and learn a little bit more about what's happening in those two special buildings.
Thank you, Joe, for hosting our event and allowing me to speak about Heritage Manor. My name is Eric Murray. I'm the Executive Director of Senior Services. Since 1965, through the vision of local Jewish families, Heritage Manor has served the Jewish community, and now we are open to people of all faiths. Heritage Manor is a 72-bed skilled nursing facility with mostly private rooms, beautiful courtyards, and a reputation for high-quality care. In addition, we offer adult day services for individuals with programs and activities, allowing them to function at their highest levels while providing peace of mind for their families. Many people ask what kind of changes have taken place at Heritage Manor over the last 2 months since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. On March 10th, we instituted visitation restrictions whereby only those who were central to workplace operations were allowed to enter the building. Today, all of our staff are required to be masked. In addition, we have mandatory reporting requirements of PPE to state and local officials. We've also centralized the entrance of the building whereby those who enter, colleagues or vendors, are subject to mandatory screenings, including having a temperature check. We also have established an 8-bed quarantine unit whereby any new admission is quarantined to that unit for 14 days in order to keep the other residents safe. In addition, we will use this unit if we have a COVID or suspected COVID patient. We are also now to perform required reporting to the CDC and the Ohio Department of Health of any suspected or confirmed COVID patient. We've also instituted incentive pay for our colleagues in recognition for their support of the building and our residents. You may be wondering, how are we supporting our residents at Heritage Manor? We are focused on new and engaging one-on-one activities for our residents. Examples include the use of virtual carts, which will allow our residents to interact with other residents through a Zoom or Skype-like feature. In addition, we will be able to use these virtual carts to take our residents on tours of things they may have an interest in. These include things like national landmarks and museums. We are also doing window visits with families and have also established a Tree of Hope, where residents can record their thoughts and feelings on expressing what they hope for, what they hope to do once this pandemic passes. In addition, we've increased our staffing, adding hospitality aides and staff for our resident activities. Hospitality aides will provide another layer of support on the floor and will support our STNAs. In addition, we've done over 200 scheduled Skype calls with families and residents, and that program has continued to gain in popularity. Since the onset of the pandemic, the community support of our facility has been tremendous. From the donations of actual PPE, monetary donations to purchase PPE, materials, and the labor to sew over 300 masks, the presence and the support of the Jewish community has been felt. I'm very proud of our team, our residents, and our resident families for bearing with us at this difficult time. I'd like to offer a heartfelt thank you to our colleagues, our residents, and our resident families for their support during this difficult time. In addition, I would like to offer my thanks to you, the community, for the support of Heritage Manor as we go through this pandemic together.
Thank you, Eric. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Miller, and I'm the director of Levy Gardens Assisted Living. For over 20 years, Levy Gardens has been providing the seniors in this community with a comfortable and beautiful environment that really allows them to age in place. We have a wonderful staff who is dedicated to making sure that each of our tenants is as independent as they can be, at the same time providing them with the support that they need to maintain a safe and healthy and active lifestyle. And we're able to do this by providing them with nursing services, personal care services, weekly housekeeping, weekly laundry, daily trash removal. We provide them with 3 meals a day. We have on-site maintenance. We have transportation department that can take them to physician's appointments or to the drugstore, wherever they may need to go. We have a wonderful activities program that really focuses on keeping them engaged and active and stimulated. Some of the things that have changed since the coronavirus pandemic, we are still providing all of these services. We still have a building full of seniors that need our assistance and need our attention. So, nothing has really changed there. We just kind of looks a little bit different the way we're doing things. We're following all of the guidance put out from the CDC, from Ohio Department of Health, Ohio Department of Aging, multiple affiliates that are giving us, guidelines to follow. We have restricted visitation at the moment, so that means only essential staff and emergency, end of life visits are allowed at this point. So we've been, kind of getting creative with how to keep our tenants in communication with their families. We've been doing Skype or Zoom calls or FaceTiming with them. Families have been coming and doing window visits just so that they can see their loved ones. We are monitoring the temperature of everybody that walks into the building, at the beginning of their shift, and we have a screening tool that we use to look for any symptoms or any possible exposure to COVID. And then we also are taking their temperature at the end of shift as well. We are also doing this with the tenants. We are taking their temperature twice a day and monitoring for any respiratory symptoms that they might have. We're arranging for telehealth visits, and we've been doing some, video calls with physicians, in lieu of them going out to an office somewhere. A lot of physicians' offices are canceling appointments for any patients that live in a congregate setting like assisted livings or nursing homes. So we've been arranging for other ways for them to get in contact with their physicians and try to keep those appointments. Since the middle of March, there has been a ban on communal dining and communal activities. So instead of the tenants coming down to the dining room for their meals, we are bringing the meals to their apartments. We bring them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our activities department is really focusing on doing one-on-one visits with the tenants as opposed to, everybody coming down for a big group activity. We know how important it is to keep them engaged and to keep them stimulated and active. So that's important to us. The therapist from Heritage Manor came over, the physical therapist, and she is screening everybody just to see make sure that they're still up and ambulating and, staying as active as they can, seeing if there's any physical therapy needs, that might need to be picked up there. We're also working with Jewish Family Services on anybody that might need a little bit of counseling. We're monitoring their mental well-being as well as their physical well-being. So they had counselors available to call some of the tenants that we've been worried about, or might just need an extra phone call in their day. This generation is strong, and they've seen tough times before. Everybody has been adapting very well, and we're all hopeful that everyone's going to get through this, and we'll be able to get back to normal soon.
Hi, I'm Congressman Tim Ryan. It's an honor to be with all of you as we experience globally and here in the United States the ramifications of this great crisis, this global pandemic. But I also want to take an opportunity to thank the Jewish Community Center for all of the great work by you and all of the volunteers around this country and around the world who are doing such great work dealing with the emergency pandemic. Child Care Center to care for our children, our essential healthcare workers, being a part of this community. The Jewish Family Services, in conjunction with the JCC, has exponentially expanded the existing Meals on Wheels program, which has been an essential program for a long period of time, to more than 3,500 meals per week to serve all needy seniors in our region, regardless of their religious affiliation. The Jewish Family Services has also created a telehealth counseling program to make sure anyone in need of mental health services can receive it. And we know how the mental health stresses and exacerbations from this pandemic are multiplying by the day and will continue in the weeks and months and even years to come. The JCC has partnered with the Red Cross to hold a vital blood drive carried out with all appropriate social distancing safeguards. You've created a pen pal program between kids and seniors as an outgrowth of our Grand Friends program. You're doing phenomenal work, and I just want to say thank you. This has been an experience, I think, for all of us at different levels, whether we're frontline healthcare workers, nursing home workers, somehow connected to the food ecosystem, or just parents at home trying to balance a job and also helping their kids with their schoolwork. So I hope that we leave this with an appreciation for all of the work that all of the people do to make this world go round. And the JCC and your Family Services arm are doing such a terrific job. So I just want to say thank you. You've been a real inspiration to all of us. Keep up the great work. You've always been there for our community, and I know you'll continue to do that for a long, long time, both in our community and across the world. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Youngstown Mayor Jamel Tito Brown, and I want to first say thank you to the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation for being a great partnership in the city of Youngstown. During our difficult time that we're facing right now, it means so much to have a partnership like we have. Tonight is a night of laughter, and that's what we need sometime in our life, a good laugh 1 or 2 times in our day. But during this pandemic, this is an important time where we all must pull together, pull our resources, pull our relationships together, and focus on one thing, taking care of the people of our community. And that's why I'm honored to have you as a partner, because you focus on the people of our community, whether it's our senior citizens or our young people. Our seniors, you're feeding 3,500 plus meals, no matter what their religious affiliation is. And that says a great deal about your organization. Your young men and women that you're taking care of now, from the babies to the youth, it's important to our community to have someone like you that can help in this difficult time. As the mayor, I've been proud to be standing side by side with your staff and your administration. We have some good times, we have some laughters. I even walk a 5K mile every now and again with you. That will truly be the way that we come out of this pandemic together. I thank you for having me tonight. Enjoy yourself, have 1 or 2 laughs on me. Once again, this is Youngstown Mayor Tito Brown, and thank you for your partnership.
Hi, Jim Tressel here from Youngstown State University, and it is such an honor to be a part of this evening's celebration. My, we've had quite a couple months here. It's been amazing in our community, on our campus, but it's been so much fun to see people coming together. The leadership that the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation has shown has just been unbelievable. On behalf of the entire community and YSU, we thank you for your extraordinary efforts. You've done so many things with the Jewish Family Services and the JCC and all the Meals on Wheels and all the programs, and just the attention and the love and the outpouring, the effort that you've given. Our community is so blessed. Our community has an amazing gem right here. And Ellen and I were fortunate that we got to travel with Andy Lipkin and Bonnie Birdman over to Israel and learn more about the Federation and learn more about the partnerships that the Youngstown area has with Western Galilee and the universities. And now we have students going over there, and we're partnering with companies, and it's just been a joy to see a wonderful group come together now in a moment like this. What you've done to step it up and make a difference in our community, thank you so much. God bless. We'll get through this together.
I would just want to say thank you to all of our amazing special guests. I mean, it's just like local celebrities all over the place, Joel.
And the workers who day to day logistically make sure that people are getting care at the Levy home, at Levy Gardens, and at Heritage Manor. I mean, just the actual manpower, it doesn't happen by magic, but people are doing this and people are taking charge. It's something we should all admire.
Exactly. I mean, there was no pause. There's no shutdown for people who are taking care of our most vulnerable, whether it's the little ones at the JCC or our older populations at Heritage Manor and Levy Gardens. There was no pause in our staff. They just jumped right in. But we need
earlier,
Earlier
in the broadcast, Lisa, you mentioned that, of course, if someone wants to contribute, they can do it through the website or mail checks, but there's a new sort of technologically advanced text way. Maybe just explain that one more time, because I want to make sure people get it.
You know, most of us are working from home. We're still getting our mail. So if people want to donate in the old-fashioned way and send in the checks to the Federation, those are so appreciated, because as you can imagine, the costs of one-on-one care and the personal protective gear that our staff needs in these times is really much more than we had anticipated when we made our budgets and didn't even have this in our heads. But we also set up our emergency relief fund on our website, which is again jewishyoungstown.org/relief. Or you can go right to your phone. It's really easy. I promise it'll lead you through it. I even did it. If you text FEDGIVE, FEDGIVE, just that word, to 44321. 44321. That's the kind of the phone number you put in, and it's going to send you a link. You'll follow that to make your donation. All of those donations stay here locally and help all of the agencies and help all of the work that we're hearing about here tonight. And we would really be so appreciative of anybody's help.
I'm just thinking about the meals. That I was blown away by the number of meals per week that are delivered. That alone is an expense worth contributing to, never mind all the extras that weren't accounted for when budgets were put together. Who knew that masks and gel, et cetera, would be required?
And you heard from Senator Brown, unfortunately, the area that we live in has been hit so hard from this. And we went from serving about 14 people before this all started with our Meals on Wheels to now delivering over 3,600 in a week. I mean, that jump, it's about, I can't even calculate that in my head, what percent jump that is. And like you said, that does take a lot of support, and we are so grateful for those who are helping us with that. This next segment is going to tell us more about what's being done to protect people, and we're going to focus on Jewish Family Services, who are doing some amazing things. We started a hotline so people can call in and get help with whatever they need, be connected to resources. We're doing telehealth, mental health counseling, because I'm sure a lot of people are struggling, like you said, with loneliness, with isolation, with just the uncertainty of these times. And on top of the meals that we're delivering through our mobile meals program, we also get calls all the time for people who are really nervous about what's going to happen to their family if they can't make a rent payment or a utility payment or buy groceries. And we're able to help those people as well through the money that we raise through the Emergency Relief Fund. So we're going to learn more about that in this next segment.
Let's check it out.
This is Bob DePiro, take 2,553. I'm a Liberty High School graduate, a YSU graduate, a graduate of the Youngstown Rock and Roll Wars, and I moved to Nashville right after I graduated from YSU and started writing songs there, and done okay. I would like to say that I am the best in my price range. whatever that is. So I'm so happy to be able to be involved in this to support your emergency relief fund. You guys are heroes because you're helping heroes, the folks in the front line, and help is needed. So I hope this entertainment can help bring in more money so that we can help more people. So thanks again for inviting me. I've been living in Nashville. This is a song I wrote, one of my first number ones, and it's called American Made. Thanks again for the invite. Seems everything I buy these days has got a foreign name. From the kind of car I drive to my video game. I got a Nikon camera, Sony color TV, but the one I love's from the USA laying next to me. And my baby's American made, born and bred in the USA, from a silky long head to a sexy long waist. My baby is American made. She looks good in her tight blue jeans, bought in Mexico. And she loves wearing French perfume everywhere we go. But when it comes to the loving part, one thing is true. My baby's genuine USA, red, white, and blue. And my baby's American made, born and bred in the USA, from a silky long hair to a sexy long legs. My baby is American made. Yeah, my baby is American made, born and bred in the USA, from a silky long head to a sexy long legs. My baby is American made. Yeah, my baby is American made. Yeah, my baby is American made. Thank you.
Hi, everybody in Youngstown. Dave Price here from NBC in New York. You can see my incredible studio here right in my kitchen. You could hardly tell. I'm here, as you are, in appreciation of all the work done by the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation. I want to celebrate with you virtually. It's a remarkable organization every day, every year, but this year and this day particularly. The Jewish Federation, along with the JCC, has been doing just amazing work, expanding Meals on Wheels to 3,500 people, community-wide efforts to get a hotline to meet the needs of people who are in such great need themselves right now, partnering with the Red Cross on blood drives, from seniors to kids and everybody in between, regardless of religion. This is what taking care of people is all about. We are our brothers and sisters' keeper. So to everyone in Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley Jewish community, I say mazel tov, congratulations, and I am in awe of your work and so happy to be part of this program tonight.
I'm Ken Balecki, Director of Jewish Family Services in Youngstown, Ohio. I wanted to take just a few minutes to share some of the new things that we've been doing in light of the current pandemic that we've been under. All of our programming has continued, if not expanded, during this time. JFS has been open, and we've been seeing all of our regular clients, and also have welcomed a lot of new clients over the course of the last couple of months. JFS is doing all teletherapy counseling right now, either by phone or video conference calls. We were quickly able to establish that with the State Board of Social Work in Ohio, and we were up and running within the first week of the pandemic starting. So we're very pleased that we were able to see and talk to our normal clients, and then also to take on new clients during this time. Also, we are doing a lot of outreach. We set up a help hotline through the Jewish Community Center, and anybody that needed assistance with anxiety or depression through that help hotline, those calls filtered to JFS counseling staff, and we were able to return those phone calls and get in touch with a lot of people who needed further help and support during this time. Another wonderful service that we're doing right now is our senior outreach. Not only were we calling people on a regular basis who are 16 and older in the Jewish community, we had several of our staff members at JFS and JCC reaching out and calling the phone list to check on loved ones, to check on how they're doing, if they have all their needs met. We also offered going out to the homes to do grocery shopping and delivery of food when the pandemic first hit. So those are some great things that we were doing. Our outreach worker led up the Pen Pal program to connect some of our seniors in the community with some of our adolescents and children to do some handwriting with those folks, and they exchanged letters, which really made the day for some of our seniors in the local community when they received a letter from a young child. It really made their day. Last and not least, I want to just mention our Meals on Wheels program. It's greatly expanded with the help of the JCC. We are under the Older Americans Act and also the Mahoning County Senior Levy. So we've taken a lot of people who are qualifying for those programs that are 16 or older that cannot leave their house due to the pandemic in Mahoning County, Northern Columbiana County, and we are really helping serve them with a lot of nutritional meals at this time. So those are some of the things, the great things that we are doing at JFS. Again, we've always been here for the community. That includes the Jewish community and the general population as well. And I'm really thankful to have our staff working so hard day by day, and very pleased with the work that we're doing, and very thankful for your support during these difficult times.
Thank you for listening. My name is Caitlin Hedge, and this is KVCon Littman.
That was in Irish air, arranged by Caitlin for viola d'amore and arpeggione.
Hi, I'm State Representative Michelle Lepore-Hagan.
And I'm former state legislator Bob Hagan. But we're not here to talk to you about our politics.
We want to talk about being Northside JCC members for 28 years and how proud we are of our membership. The work that's being done during this pandemic by our friends here at the Jewish Family Services in conjunction with the JCC has made it possible for seniors at Heritage Manor to have increased access to activities and caregiving.
Working with our seniors, keeping watch over our children and distributing Meals on Wheels and making great contributions to our valley, that's always the contribution that we're getting from the JCC.
Thank you for being there for our community.
Thank you.
This is State Representative Gil Blair of the 63rd District, and I am delighted to be joining you this evening. It's good that you're all able to get together, even if it's virtually. COVID-19 has changed all of our lives, but we're going to get through this together. I begin every day as your state representative in a meeting at the Trumbull County Health Department. In that meeting, myself, along with Representative Mike O'Brien, meet with our first responders, we meet with our hospitals, other elected officials, and nursing home officials to get an update on the virus and how it is affecting our valley. We work every day to make sure we're ahead of what is going on and trying to provide the best resources possible to combat the virus. In addition, we spend the balance of our days working with individuals who are struggling with unemployment, the need for public assistance that was caused by this crisis, and also trying to help our small businesses who are struggling to maintain staying open and keeping their employees, and also preparing to emerge from the pandemic and move our economy forward. It has been a very difficult few weeks for our valley and for our people, but there are many bright spots. And one thing I can say for sure is that the people of the Mahoning Valley are truly and absolutely grateful to the Youngstown Jewish Federation and the work it has done in our community. Whether it's hosting a blood drive, maintaining a pandemic daycare, or providing online classes for seniors and extended care at the nursing facilities. This work means a lot. It has helped to save lives. It has helped to improve the quality of life for many people who are shut in and don't have access to social support or their families during this very difficult time. We are truly grateful for the efforts of your organization and all involved who have done so much to try to make this situation better for the people here in the Mahoning Valley. I wish you all a good night. I hope you enjoy the entertainment that's going to be provided, and may God continue to bless you and your families. Have a good evening.
And Joel, of course, our support, what we do with the Federation year round is not just for those in the local area, but also in Israel.
We appreciate knowing that Youngstown, Ohio has our back.
You know, our partnership region is Akko in the Western Galilee, and through one of our funds here, through one of our funds here at the Federation, we will be looking at sending some support to Israel this summer through the Thomas's Family Endowment, who already granted $122,000 to local organizations to deal with this crisis. So we've helped here at home, and now we're coming to your home.
We truly appreciate it, and it is needed.
So speaking of Israel, the next video is going to feature some faces that are very familiar, especially to our families and our students here in Youngstown.
Hi everyone! Hi, we are Eran and Elior, and this is Uriah, who was born in Youngstown, and Nasia Nina, and this is the newest addition, Itamar. We were shlichim in 2013 until 2015. We live now in Jerusalem. Everyone is welcome if you're coming when you can. And
I'm on maternity leave now.
And I work for Keren HaYesod, United Israel Pio.
And so far the corona has been a blessing. We just came back from almost 7 weeks at our in-laws and Eran's parents at his kibbutz, and the kids had a great time, and now we're back.
And hope to visit you again in the future.
Bye!
Bye!
Shalom everyone! I don't know if you remember us, but we are the Teslers, Danielle and Noah, and this is Itai, Ronnie and Asaf. We came to Youngstown in 2007, right after we got married, and we had a great honeymoon at Youngstown. We live in Petah Tikva. Danielle is a pension advisor, and I running an education center for youth in danger. But now we are all at home because of the corona, trying to have fun. So we miss you and we wish you all the best. And that's it. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Well, guys, how are you? I hope you remember me. My name is Or, and I was the Israeli emissary to the Youngstown regional area between 2010 and 2012, along with my ex-wife, Noam. And we live in Eilat today. We have beautiful kids, Gilad and Itamar, and we live in Eilat, which is the southernmost city in Israel. I'm a history teacher in high school in Eilat, and Noam is a school counselor, and we're doing great, and you're obviously welcome and more than invited to Eilat, the most beautiful city in Israel. Gilad and Tamar, תגידו שלום. Twins. Bye.
Shalom. We are Shai and Einat Kozer-Niego. We were shlichim in Youngstown between 2008 and 2010. Today we live in Rehovot and raising two children. Evyatar is our 7 years old son and is going to first grade, and Alona is our 5 years old sweet little girl going to preschool. I'm a social worker currently working as the director of the Elderly Daycare Center in Brenner Regional Council.
And I am the CEO of a company that provides medical services mostly for the elderly.
We miss our time in Youngstown very much, and especially the wonderful people of the Jewish community and all Federation staff. Hope everyone is well and wishing to see you here in Israel soon.
We are wishing you all the best, and please continue to be the best small Jewish community in the world. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, shalom.
Bye, shalom.
Hi everyone, I'm Tomer.
I'm Talia.
This is Yarden or Jordan.
This is Carmel. We were shlichim during 2012 to 2013.
We live in Haifa, and during the Corona time we were mainly celebrating birthdays of Talia, of Jordan, and of Carmel.
These days I'm working in a college for education.
And I'm working in a dental company up north. We hope you're all in good health and happy. And we wish you that this Corona period will end soon. And we love you, miss you guys.
Shalom.
Bye-bye. Shalom.
Hi everyone, Bonnie Birdman here from the JCRC. I hope you're all enjoying yourself tonight. I sure am. Wasn't that great? All this wonderful music and hearing from our friends from back in Israel. I'm really enjoying it. I got to tell you, I am so proud to be a part of the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation and proud to be serving on the staff. But most importantly, I'm proud to work with all of you as volunteers because you really give our work meaning, and it enables us to do so many things. So thank you, thank you, thank you. As you know, the JCRC does a lot of work with Israel advocacy and dealing with issues of anti-Semitism. And that work is so important now, especially on the anti-Semitism piece, because as we deal with this pandemic, we're seeing an increase in anti-Semitism in ways that we haven't seen before. And it's difficult to deal with, and we all have to stand vigilant against all kinds of hatred, and particularly this insidious form of anti-Semitism. And with your help, we at the JCRC and the entire Federation staff are able to work diligently to fight back against all of this hatred. So again, thank you for that. And thank you again for all the work we do on Israel advocacy and really sharing ourselves with our friends in Israel and promoting the things that are happening in Israel and here in the Mahoning Valley. Our connections are strong and we're really proud of them. And because of those strong connections, we have wonderful friends around the country, and particularly those who are here in the United States from Israel. And one of them is none other than our good friend, the Honorable Danny Dayan, the Consul General of the New York Consulate in Israel. And he's here tonight to give us some words from the government of Israel. So take it away, Danny.
Shalom, I am Danny Dayan, the Consul General of Israel to New York and Ohio. I wish I could be with you in the Youngstown area celebrating with the amazing Jewish community of Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. But unfortunately, due to the circumstances, I have to send a virtual greeting. You know, many things try to separate us, Israeli Jews and American Jews. There is a vast ocean that separates us, but nevertheless our heart beats in unison. We carry probably different passports in our pockets, but we belong to the same people. And even if we reside in different places, when we pray, when we daven, we all face Yerushalayim. Now the coronavirus tries to separate between us, even technically, from a dozen flights a day from North America to Israel. We are left with only one active, but even that is not able to separate between us, to divide between us. I watch very closely, again, unfortunately I have to do it from my office and not in person, the amazing work that you continue to do during these challenging days, the JCC, the care for the elderly, all those things that are very touching. And I knew that a Jewish community so dedicated will succeed to overcome this hurdle, as difficult as it is. I want also to share with you that before all this started, shortly before all this started, I visited Columbus. I met with Governor DeWine, and we talked about his future visit to Israel, that I hope it will happen nevertheless. Let me wish you all Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach, Yom Yerushalayim Sameach, and I am sure that when we overcome this, we will continue in person to work together as we always do for the well-being of the State of Israel and the well-being of the Jewish people. Chag Sameach.
Joel, I know we're going long here. We're longer than the hour we promised, but we've been having so much fun with you, and we don't want to let you go.
No, it's been great, and you've done a great job giving everyone a taste of what you do and also entertaining at the same time. So thank you for including me.
Thank you for offering your help and for being up way past your bedtime. And we can't wait to host you in Youngstown again and see you in person.
Live in person. For now, I'm going to sign off. Good night, everyone, or good day, everyone. And please continue to support all the great work that's being done in your community.
Thank you, Joel. Sweet dreams. So again, your support is continually needed. What we need will not let up once things get back to whatever our new normal will be. Please text FEDGIVE to 44321 or go to our website, jewishyoungstown.org/relief. We're going to be feeling the ripple effects of what this virus and this pandemic has done to our community, unfortunately, for years to come. And the needs will only keep growing once people are getting back to kind of normal life and have more costs associated with what they need to do. Your help will help us pivot just like we did during this time and really address the needs of everybody in our community and make sure that we can support anybody that needs our help. So again, FedGive 44321 or jewishyoungstown.org/relief. We asked a few weeks ago for people to send us I support signs. Why do you support Federation? And the response was amazing, from little ones to older people to people in Youngstown to people across the globe. And so we want to close out this program with a montage of showing people why they support the Federation. And fresh off Broadway, from the Yiddish fiddler, she played Seidel, it's our very own, we're going to claim her Youngstown, Rachel Zatkoff.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Zatkoff and my husband is Seth Kessler from Youngstown, Ohio. You may know his parents, Ron and Linda, and I feel like an honorary member of Youngstown as I've been visiting with my husband for the last 12 years. I know the greatness in a 4-scoop sampler from Handel's, Grand Central Station, and I long for a Dino sandwich from Jimmy's, and even I run into people I know at Station Square. So I know the tight-knit, loving community that you are, and thank you to the Federation for all of the amazing work that you do. And I'm looking forward to brighter days ahead, even though you're isolated and I'm isolated and cooped up in our Midtown apartment in New York City. I hope that we can keep your spirits high and look forward to the future.
Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where
Thank you so much, Rachel. That was beautiful. You and Seth live in New York, but as far as we're concerned, we will claim you as our own. Andy Lipkin here, Federation Executive Vice President. I hope you have all enjoyed tonight's event as much as Hillary and I did. It cannot be said enough. Our community is so wonderful, and as we have shown tonight, in true Youngstown fashion, we continue to box well above our weight class. You have heard from and about a number of members of the staff of the Federation and its agencies, but as you can imagine, there are so many more dedicated, talented individuals on our staff that it would take hours to recognize them all. We have an incredible team here at the Federation, and I want to publicly thank each and every one of you for going above and beyond, not only in the good times, but especially now as we weather this current storm. And how can we even begin to give enough praise to all of our essential healthcare and frontline workers, our nurses and aides at Heritage Manor and Levy Gardens, our early childhood staff working in our pandemic child care center, our counselors and staff at Jewish Family Services who continue to provide vital care and comfort to the most vulnerable and isolated, our redeployed JCC staff who are preparing and delivering meals, making masks, and performing so many other crucial jobs, and to all the administrative staff who have kept things going from home or in the office, thank you from the bottom of my heart. But it's not only the staff that keeps our Federation running. We have the best volunteers who work tirelessly to promote the Federation's mission to help the most vulnerable and repair the world. Thank you. Your work now is more crucial than ever. And thank you to all our participants in tonight's events, our live MCs, Lisa and Joel, our musical performers, public officials, and special guests who honored us all with their presence. And finally, do we all remember what today is? Yes, it's Thursday, but it's also May 14th, the Gregorian calendar date of Israel's independence. As you saw tonight, we have deep connections to the state of Israel, so let's honor her birthday tonight as we close with a presentation of Hatikva, led by our Israelis on our staff, Tirza Kohan, Gan and Shai Erez, Kobe and Mayan Sigler, and Matan Narani. Stay safe, Youngstown, everyone, and good night.
נפש יהודי הומייה ופאתם מזרח קדימה עין לציון סופיה
בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים